Conclusion that many people, the neutrals outside St Helens, are maybe hoping for, Terry.
Well, you look at this stadium, what an atmosphere. The Saints fans down to our left, 3/4 of Old Trafford will be cheering this Salford side on, and like you say, what a story. They nearly relegated 2 years ago, now playing in the grand final. They've got to make sure that they handle the emotion and not try and do anything out of the ordinary. This Saints side, well-oiled machine. When you play against Saints, you know what to expect. They've been so dominant, determined. Well, this Salford side, for me, they've lost by 8 points or less in not so many games. And, you know, you look at how they've played. They've been incredible. They are absolutely a well and truly determined side to bring home the silverware for Ian Watson.
There's no doubt they're a good defensive side, Salford Red Devils, but unusually on grand final night, there's no rain. I hope I don't curse the weather gods, but there's no rain, so I'm expecting an open game. It's usually attritional, but I'm expecting an open game this evening.
Well, yes, the conditions are absolutely perfect. In fact, it is most unlike grand final day. It's normally grey and rainy, bit of autumnal wind, but it's mild. It's probably going to be hot work out there, hardly a breath of air in the ground. It is going to be hot on that pitch, Phil.
Yeah, Salford need to forget about the emotions and focus on coping, sticking with Saints for this opening 10 minutes. They've blown so many of their opponents away before we get to the 10-minute mark, put 2 converted tries on the board. Salford have to go with them from this very first kick.
Well, it is St Helens who'll get us underway through the boots of Lachlan Coote, a grand final winner in 2015 with the North Queensland Cowboys. Can he do the double with a Super League crown? It's Chris Naninu who gets the first touch of the ball then for this Salford side who beat Wigan 28-4 to get here last week. That is no mean achievement, but they've spilled the ball in their first set of Salford, and Saints have it in an advantageous position already.
Well, good tackle from Nguama that dislodges that ball from Mossop. And they didn't want to make the mistake. He's got to defend this line now.
That is a calamitous start for Salford to cough up possession in the first set in the game and put themselves on the back foot. They're already on their own try line defending as Saints have possession and look to capitalise on that error with big Alex Walmsley. A tower in the St Helens pack. Roby. Here is Faj, and now Peru skipping. Unsung hero in the St Helens pack, Dom Peru. He's about 10 metres out. That's 4 tackles gone. Salford defending desperately. Luke Thompson is charging for the line. Always takes some stopping. They managed to do that on this occasion. On the last, Faj in 2 minds, and Salford survive. How big a fillip will that be for the Salford Red Devils? They came up with the error, but they've managed to defend it.
Yeah, well, Ian Watson's man had all the answers then to every player that Saints are throwing at them. But because of that mistake, it means it's really difficult for them now to get those yardage plays right, make decent meters against the Saints side that are red hot going forward. Look how determined they are with that line speed.
There's Gil Dudson, who has been outstanding in the playoffs for the Salford Red Devils. And Salford playing towards the Stretford end. Their fans in the east stand behind them here at Old Trafford, and you have to say that many people's predictions that a Salford presence in the grand final would not be good for ticket sales seem to have been proved wrong, because it's a great turnout as that kick goes up from Hastings and is claimed by Coote.
You're right to credit the fans, mention the fans. The playoff games that Salford Red Devils have been involved in, they've all had good following, and that really lifts these players. I know that Mossop made a mistake in the first set of 6, but Salford put that to one side. They defended the first set of 6 stoutly, and they've got everybody to our right shouting for them, on a lot of the neutrals as well.
Here is Walmsley once more, and Walmsley almost through the first line. It was Griffin voted the Salford Red Devils most valuable player. First penalty of the game, though, goes to St Helens.
Yeah, he's been done for a flop. Gil Dudson. Walmsley picked out Lola here. He goes straight at him, knocks him back. He lands on his front. Gil Dudson's no, that's far too quick. So he flops on him. So again, another set of 6 that they've got to contend with here. So close to the line.
Justin Holbrook off to the Gold Coast Titans for 2020, but hoping to bow out with the big prize, the one that has eluded St Helens since 2014 when they won on this ground. Here's Triafage. Morgan Knowles now, 20 metres out. The Old Trafford pitch in brilliant condition. Lomax and Nkwama cuts back in field, 10-metre line. Roby into the middle of the Walmsley powering towards the line, and they're trying to bulldoze their way through the Salford defence, but the Red Devils hold out there. Fage now, Fage over the top, stray pass, and St Helens turn to cough up possession.
Well, that's tremendous work from Ken Seo. Saints end up with the ball, but great recognition from the winger. Shut that play down, almost got the ball back for his side.
Little kick against the grain, and it's still loose. The ball is still loose, and it's eventually picked up by Tuilola Heya.
The survival in these early stages is absolutely essential for the Salford side, for them to have any hope of winning. Here's the delicate kick. They're just about to do enough here to pounce on the ball. And again, it's near their own line. But the three sudden death games that Saints have lost, last year's Challenge Cup semi-final, last year's playoff match to get to the grand final, and the Challenge Cup final in 2019, their opponents scored their first points on every occasion. And Salford have to do everything they can to hold out the Saints and then somehow find a way to put the first points on the scoreboard tonight.
That's the fifth tackle as Lee Mossop, in his third grand final, plays the ball. And it's Lola Heya who kicks that downfield. It's Coote who claims it. And now Grace, the Welsh international winger who will be on a plane tomorrow evening heading for Australia in the World Nines to represent Wales.
They are really hard to handle, the outside backs for Saints. You look at them, they all want a touch of the ball, but they kick to the right-hand side. Tommy Makinson, I don't think, is as effective as he's coming from left to right as he is from right to left. You don't want a quick play of the ball with the likes of Thompson and Walmsley on the back of them.
5 minutes gone, and it's 5 minutes that Salford have mainly spent defending. Here is Lomax. Lomax pushed Jackson Hastings very close for that Steve Prescott Man of Steel award. Coote's pass, good defence to bring down Akuma Tai on the last tackle.
Some lovely work around the back there. Lachlan Coote went from the right to the left, and our guest Danny Maguire talking about the influence that he has within this St Helens side, Lachlan Coote, and whenever Lomax and Fage aren't around, he turns up and just makes those big calls and makes them correctly.
So many players for Salford bowing out after this game. Jackson Hastings, one of them, playing the ball there. He's off to Wigan, as is that man, Jake Bibby. Logan Tompkins on the move at the end of this season, but despite that fact, they've had this amazing camaraderie of Salford, which has helped get them through this playoff series and to this stage. Griffin on to Wellham, and Wellham doing well to make a bit of space there. That's the fifth tackle. They've entered St Helens territory, and Hastings gets a kick away towards Makinson's wing, and Makinson, despite some traffic around him, does well.
Well, an attacking kick from Jackson Hastings, probably needed to be behind Makinson. Salford can't be in survival mode, just bringing the ball away from their line. They've got to make sure that they have the ball up near Saints' line. To progress, to win this game, they need some decent field position. Again, the outside backs, look at the meters that they're making.
Nkwama over the halfway line. Roby is caught in possession by Dodson. Good work from the Welsh international prop. So here's Theo Fage. Niall Evalds, first touch for this supremely talented Salford fullback. Evalds, who's been ever present this season.
That looks as though it could have been the fastest 7 minutes that the Salford players have played against this season. They've worked very hard, but so many of them here now walking back, desperate to get some oxygen back in the body.
Ian Watson, as usual, down on the sidelines with his coaching staff. Here is Krishnan Inu then. Came to Salford from the Widnes Vikings and has proved a very astute signing, as Hastings puts a good kick into a bit of space and Coote has to go across and claim it.
And that is the important thing, it's into space. It makes the winger Regan Grace turn back. There's a bit of communication between Grace and Coote, but they can control the way they hand the ball over. It was the fourth tackle kick, and they're back in the defence, the Red Devils.
Percival slipping the clutches of the first wave of Salford defenders, but then Mossop and co bring him down. Here is Makinson now, Super League's top try scorer this season. Niall Evalds pushed him close. Sebtaya it is, just inside his own half. And Luke Thompson now. Thompson, such a powerful runner for this Saints side, and always hurls himself into the tackle. That's the fifth. Coots' kick. Evalds comes across to claim it. Was he tackled in the air? He was.
Well, that's exactly what they need. The timing of the tackle from Percival wasn't right. And when Niall Evalds caught that ball in the air, he was under some pressure. Look, he jumps up, he lifts his knees up as well to stay up in the air for that split second longer, knowing that there's some Saints player that will make contact. So it's an easy 20 metres, and it's 20 metres that will really help them as well.
A lot of things have to go right for Salford to win here tonight, but getting through the opening 10 minutes without conceding a point was, I think, the first and most important.
We haven't got through it yet. 20 minutes was the landmark that I've heard a lot of people suggest. Survived the first quarter, because if Saints really get into the rhythm that they got into when they put Wigan to the sword,
it does tend to go in quarters, don't it? I don't know whether subliminally, subconsciously, coaches talk about making changes on that 20-minute mark. Everybody looks fresh here. It's an energy-sapping game. Penalty given.
They've dropped the ball. They've lost the ball here at Salford. You've got to make sure big games end your sets well. Jackson Hastings, well, he looks confused, doesn't he?
Yeah, it looks like the ball just stuck to his hand just as he put it on the floor, came up with his hand and dropped to the floor again.
But it's sticky and sweaty out there.
Those are the margins, aren't they? I was going to say about the energy that you spend. You spend a lot of energy. Funnily enough, it's in the week, it's in the build-up, all the media call that you have to do when you finally get to the game. It's a relief to get out on the pitch, but after 10 minutes, looking at your opposition, you're seeing who's breathing the deepest.
Here is Makinson now. So Saints dominating possession. James Roby, his 450th career appearance today. What a stage to make that on. The ball is kept alive. It's with Coote. Coote worming his way through, gets the pass away, one-handed, ambitious. Grace had no chance.
Well, Lachlan Coote goes for the offload behind the Salford defender, and they always look to get you. Look at this. They line up Sebtaya on Lola here. He's class, isn't he, Lachlan Coote? But he looks for that miracle ball to Regan Grace. It's like they're trying to play catch-up rugby with that sort of play so early on in the game.
Surprise play on I think the first tackle. They had 5 more after that. They've tilted the field in this opening part of the game. We've seen so much of it down towards Salford's try line. A wasted opportunity there to take the lead.
But again, Salford are having to work from deep. They have spent the first 11 minutes of this game virtually in their own half, haven't they?
It's really difficult when you're carrying the ball. Look, it's very hard to try and find space. The object of the game is to play the ball as quick as you can and find some space. When you're bringing the ball away, it's 9 times out of 10, it's one-up carries. Last week when they played against Wigan, the Salford side, they completed at 91%. They need those same sort of stats in this game.
Josh Jones, former Saints man, outstanding second row this season. The top tackle busts in Super League from Jones. Saints will be keeping an eye on their former player. Here he is now. And there are players there to stop his progress. Knowles and Walmsley. Hastings with the kick again, goes for height. Again, Coote is underneath it, claims that.
And a good take. Looks like now Evalds at the opposite end of the field. He tries to keep those feet in the air as long as possible. You have to say, with 12.5 minutes on the clock, I know it's early in the game, Salford don't look like they're too gassed. Greg Brown has done a remarkable job with this group of men, and I would say over the last month they have got better, stronger, and they look fitter at the back end of games.
Well, it's testing for them now, but they're trying to restrict Saints' progress on this set. Here's Kevin Ngama. He'll be Fiji's captain in the World Nines. He'll also be on a plane early next week. Luke Thompson now. Grand final winner in 2014, a teenager then. 19 years of age he was. Now he's a seasoned campaigner as Coop puts that kick in. And here is Inu.
It's a brilliant kick, and I think when you look at the dominance that St Helens had over Wigan in the playoff game 2 weeks ago, it was the accuracy of Coop's kicks which tipped the game so much in their favour.
Jake Bibby plays the ball 20 metres out, and here is Ken Seo off his wing, seeking some work. Still waiting for the first points. The crowd slightly hushed at the moment, sensing that this game might burst into life any moment. Here is Wellen. That's the 5th tackle. And again, Salford will kick from inside their own half. Lollahay are under pressure, but gets a good kick away. Coots is underneath that one. Makinson now. Across the field, around Wellen.
Here we go.
Makinson almost through, just a little ankle tap it was from Seo, did enough to stop his progress.
And that's what Torbolton makes him when he runs from right to left, so dangerous. Talking to Eamon McManus before the game, and he said that this Salford side, they'd probably tested him more than any other team that they played this year in round 15. They just won by 2 points.
Good offload finds Luke Thompson, and again he makes progress. Now Roby, Theophage on quickly to Peru. Peru back into the middle of the field. 4 tackles gone. Wormsley now. Wormsley, short pass, first try of the game. And it's Morgan Knowles who's got it. Morgan Knowles on the end of that pass from Wormsley. And the 22-year-old Welsh international gets his 5th try of the season. And Saints, with all the pressure, eventually make it tell. And Salford, from the word go, have been on the back foot in this grand final.
Well, they seem to have had all the field position, and the damage was done at the ruck area. 2 Salford players caught on the wrong side of the ruck. So that means that all the tight defenders, either side of the play of the ball, had to account for what was going to happen when James Roby got the ball. Alex Walmsley gets hold of it. You think, right, he's going to run straight over me. Nice little touch in the prop forward.
The biggest cheer in the stadium came from Alex Walmsley. When he passed that ball, he punched the air. I bet when people were putting a bet on the first try scorer, they'd have looked at Makinson, Kwame, Percival, Grace. 76 tries between the centres and the wingers in St Helens. Well, it's the hard-working Morgan Knowles that notches up the first try for Saints.
And Coots doesn't waste any time, teeing up the conversion attempt. Another one to add to his tally this season is 102nd successful kick at goal. And St Helens, 16 minutes into this game, lead by 6 points to 0.
Well, Walmsley's job description is primarily to provide the power for his team, but he finds the finesse with that pass, and it's absolutely delightful. It was almost the quality of I don't know, the best player, Hastings or Lomax, to develop those skills and to deliver them under pressure when he's been working hard for 15 minutes. That's a brilliant bit of work from the front rower.
If you're a middleman, Bill, and you're defending against Thompson or Walmsley, you're not expecting them to tip the ball, and you're bracing yourself to hit them with everything that you've got. Nice skill from the prop forward.
The former Barrow Island player then, Morgan Knowles, getting his 5th try of this 2019 Super League campaign, the first try of this Betfred Super League Grand Final. And Salford are penalised for offside there.
They needed a clean set, didn't they, the Red Devils? They needed to defend St Helens and then have their turn with the ball. So important when you get rattled, and they will be rattled mentally, having conceded a try after 16 minutes. It's so important that you get back to your job and do it to perfection. They've been imperious, the St Helens side, in 2019. When they get one, they usually get another one straight after.
Well, they've got the opportunity, a penalty conceded, and here is Wormsley again. And Wormsley is in the mood for this storming run from the prop row, props forward. Here is Lomax. Lomax, Zeb Tyre cuts back into the middle of the field. 3 tackles gone. Here is Thompson. Thompson terrorising Salford's middlemen. Closer to those posts. They are looking to dominate. They are dominating earlier on. Here is Peru. Peru almost escaping the clutches. Hastings clinging on to him. Roby. Farge with a little kick. Ricochets kindly for Saints, and
6 more.
Chris Kendall says it's 6 to go.
More pressure for St Helens.
Here is Wormsley, goes to ground quickly. Roby's pass. Farge. Zebtai now.
They're looking at Lola here, St Helens, aren't they? They're going from Hastings to Lola here.
Roby goes to Farge. Here is Morgan Knowles again, and Knowles in the shadow of those posts. Roby's pass. Wormsley will power towards the middle. Gets the pass away to Thompson. He'll straighten it up. They are hammering away in the heart of that Salford defence. That's the 5th tackle. Roby's pass. Not a good one, but Coote claims it. And now it's with Kevin Aguama skipping across the field. It's still the last, says the referee. That'll be the turnover.
Well, Saints' go forward is absolutely ridiculous. And the coach, Justin Holbrook, would have wanted to make sure that he got to the kick instead of running the play. And Aguama, I don't think he knew what he was going to do then.
I think Saints have learnt through painful experience that it's very hard to kick the ball on this ground and keep it in the in-goal area. Very short in-goals in here. And so often now, 3 times, they've run the ball on the last tackle. They'd rather turn over the ball there than have a tap 20 and concede possession and territory so easily.
Here's Ken Seo now. And Salford making changes. Adam Walker is out there, making his first appearance in a grand final. Chris Wellham, first for him as well. He's 32 years of age now. He's waited a long time.
Been a top performer for St Helens, hasn't he, Wellham? But they're trying to shift the balls, find some space. And Salford, it did look a tired set. Effectively 3 sets they've had to defend after conceding a try. But Jackson Hastings knows his side near field position, and they almost got a lucky ricochet from that as well.
Coote it was who claimed the ricochet off his own shins and then ran into the tackle from Walker.
Adam Walker appealing for the penalty. St Alex Wormsley got in the way then of Makerton when he was carrying the ball back.
Oh, Grace ducks under the first tackle, but he's got away. He's got Evans in front of him and tries to hurdle the fullback. Hastings eventually makes the tackle. Salford defending desperately. Lomax through the middle. 10 metres out. The Red Devils in retreat. Roby to Farge. Farge back on the inside to Thompson, and Thompson powering towards the line. Tyrone McCarthy with the tackling. Here is Lomax ducking under the first challenge.
Well, that ball had to go then. Nyla Valls was caught up in the ruck area. He got caught up in that tackle, the space out wide, but look at this. Greengrass, isn't he an athlete?
I don't think you're allowed to hurdle the player the way. I think that's not a penalty we've not seen for about 100 years.
You can't jump into a tackle in that way. There's a good break, but you cannot jump into a tackle.
Well, keep watching when St Helens have the ball and they're in good field position. They are looking at Lola here. Salford's right side, Saints' left side. They're looking at him. They think he's vulnerable.
Well, Salford are vulnerable.
It just seems relentless pressure for Salford. Bringing the ball away, you might rotate your substitutes, but all the field position. Ian Watson knows that they need a long kick. They need maybe a penalty, a mistake from Saints.
They need a spark, don't they? They need something to break this monotonous of going to the right. They're working hard and they're looking for a long hit and hope kick.
Hastings kick, Coote claims and runs it back through the middle, gets away from the first challenge.
This is the next one they've got to worry about here now with Percival and Makinson come forward. I guess they'd love to try and find the sideline, have a scrum, stop the game. They can't stop the tide that's rolling forward here.
It is Percival playing the ball, and now it is Makinson. A little skip from last year's Golden Boot winner, Tommy Makinson, but he couldn't find a way through there. Roby now, Lomax. George Griffin with the tackle. Roby's pass. Louis McCarthy, Scarsbrook winds up for a charge. That's the 5th tackle. And Roby hesitant. It's Coots eventually who gets the pass. Lomax just wondering where that was supposed to go. It's a bit of confusion. And there's a knock on there from...
I think it's Ken Seal.
It is. It's more pressure on the Salford defence.
He is under some pressure when that ball goes up in the air. Mark Purcell trying to make it into a contest. How does it come out here?
Well, they're both competing for the ball, and that comes out. He's in possession of it after the contest, and then he loses the ball forward. It's the right decision.
It is all piling up on the Salford Red Devils. The pressure, the territorial advantage.
Well, they just need some defensive wins. The left-hand side is open. They're all stacked over on the right-hand side.
They go on the short side, they pass the ball back on the inside, and Zebtea gets the 2nd try of the game, or does he? Chris Kendall says time off, let's consult video ref Ben Baylor. The referee thinks it's a try, he wants his video ref to take a look at this. What's he looking at, Stuart?
Well, basically he wants to see if anybody who's held in the scrum and prevented from coming out to make the tackle on the side.
Well, they knew exactly what they were doing, St Helens. Put all the players over on the right, and a nice intricate play over to the side where nobody was. Theo Farge comes out, and he almost twists back around to shield the ball, Roby. Can't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, we're looking to see if any of the white shirts hold on to the black shirts to prevent them from making any of those tackles. But it seems clear, doesn't it? They release them all.
I think it's an absolute giveaway. When a team shows the hand like this, they're going to attack you, they're going to come back for you.
Brilliant.
Chris Wellham was caught up in the front row. I don't think there's an issue.
Oh, reward innovation, and that's exactly what we've seen here. There's so little creativity. Too many teams do the same players, but here there's something a little different, and it's come off, and I think it's going to give them 6 more points.
You've got to be on the jump here. I don't see a problem.
No, there's no problem at all. You know, the video referees checked it. Referees' thoughts on at the time was that it was a try, and I think this will be confirmed.
Zebtea, a hard-working player for St Helens. He ends up through a little bit of game plan. Justin Holbrook looked at scrum plays, looked at trickery, and how James Roby passes that ball and it still manages to go backward. His high skill.
Zebtea in his first grand final after over 300 career appearances on both sides of the world has got the 2nd try of this game. He got a try in the 40 points to 10 victory over Wigan that got Saints to Old Trafford, and he's got the 2nd try of this one, his 6th of this campaign. And it is all going well, so well for St Helens. There is their chairman, Eamon McManus. It's early days yet, but how pleased he must be with the first 24 minutes of this game. Coots. As mentioned, a grand final winner in 2015. He's lost in a grand final as well in 2017 for the Cowboys against Melbourne Storm. Joining that band, he hopes, of players who've won grand finals on both sides of the world, like Adrian Morley.
A pretty prestigious company to be in. Zebtea, he knows what he's doing. The role that Theo Farge plays, he attracts Tuilola here. There's a small list of spaces for Zebtea. He knows what's coming. Kensio completely conned. And there you go, that's a wonderful try from St Helens.
The Saints have had to come up with that level of creativity because of Salford's defence in recent weeks. Been so hard to break down, but a trick shot on the biggest night of the year has come off and put 6 more on the lead.
12-0 then, St Helens lead, 25 minutes gone in the Super League Grand Final. Saints back here for the first time since 2014, looking to atone for their disappointment at Wembley this year and to collect the big prize. And they have been in control of this game so far. Salford on the back foot virtually from the word go.
Well, Saints every carry, it's a run to bust, isn't it? Got Johnny Lomax to change of direction. Mark Percival runs as hard as any front rower in Super League. Again, the rucks are quick too. Salford can't get back under pressure. Christian Inu.
Oh, Inu's put the ball down and it's come up for Evans. That is probably the first lucky break Salford have had tonight.
Well, you need a couple of things to go for you then. Christian Inu, again under pressure. There he is carrying the ball, trying to make some valuable meters.
Nearly lost that.
He does have that ball loose when he carries it. He's such a dangerous player, and you're right to mention, look, you have to be prepared and in the right frame of mind for when luck goes your way. No luck has gone Salford's way. They've been on the back foot for 25 of those 26 minutes.
Here is Adam Walker, one of the motley crew Mark Flanagan in the Salford camp referred to. Jackson Hastings now. Now then, this is an opportunity maybe for Salford to examine the Saints defence. Lollahea with a little run round, puts the brakes on it. Tui Lollahea going solo, still going. Tui Lollahea, what a try, what a try, no! Oh no! Obstruction, the penalty goes against Salford. He just wanted one more defender to beat.
And that's why they need the field position. Lollahea, the little run around with Greg Burt. Look at the footwork. He's like a sevens player. Good balance. Logan Tompkins is the man that's been penalised. Wow. But Jackson Hastings, Lollahea, you give them 30 metres from the opposition line. They are so dangerous.
Such a shame for Salford, wasn't it? I think you're right, Bill. He'd beaten players, come back to beat them again, and Ian Watson had almost saw his side post the first points, and Tui Lollahea, beautiful balance he's got when he runs the ball. He's just had no field position.
The man who had a tough start to this Super League season was a Leeds Rhinos player at the beginning of the campaign. It didn't work out for him, and he went to Salford with Robert Louis going in the opposite direction, and now Lollahea finds himself in the grand final and very nearly found himself on the score sheet then. I think poor old Logan Tompkins didn't know where to put himself because Lollahea was just going in every direction. Here's Theo Fage. It's always interesting to see Theo Fage in the warm-up. Jackson Hastings pouncing on that ball, and that'll be the turnover.
Salford get the ball here.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they need. They need, as I said before, when Christian Inu made the mistake, they need a bit of luck to go for them. And they've got another call here.
It's Salford's spirit that's got them here to this grand final, and it's Salford's spirit that's got to get them back into the game. The run by Lollahea does give them some confidence, and then the commitment here in defence by Hastings and co. The Salford fans find their voice again here. They need the side here now to find some confidence and offload maybe in a nice pass.
Coming up to the half-hour mark on a sticky, warm night at Old Trafford. Halfway line with George Griffin. Brother Darryl, a grand final winner here in his Leeds Rhinos days. Josh, a Challenge Cup final winner. Can George join them in the winner's circle? Hastings is directing operations. Oh, Hastings, a little break. And still in possession. Hastings finds Wellham. Wellham cuts back in field, gets the... There is Hastings again. Hastings fires the pass out to Seo. Salford coming alive. 6 to go, says referee Chris Kendall. Here is Hastings. Walker. Greg Burke now.
That's good for them. Forwards passing to one another. Interplay between the big men. Got them points last week.
Short pass. McCarthy. McCarthy wrestling his way closer to that Saints line. Tompkins fires the pass away to Hastings. Josh Jones now. Jones, bustling running style, back into the middle of the field. Saints retreating, back on their own try line. Their turn to defend. Here is Lollahea, finds George Griffin. Griffin into the arms of 3 Saints defenders. Logan Tompkins now. Tompkins gets the pass away to Lollahea. Here's Greg Burke. Greg Burke back to Lollahea. Hastings now. Hastings, little skip, stands, gets the pass away to Evans. It is. Salford keeping it alive. That's the 5th tackle though. Saints defending well, keeping them at bay. It's with Lollahea, back to Hastings. Hastings running it, and Bibby will go in, and Salford hit back. And Salford's mercurial style pays off. They did not let that ball die. It was on the last. They kept it alive, and Ian Watson's side have found a way through. They have found a way back into this game. 31 minutes to gone after half an hour of St Helens domination. Jake Bibby in his final game for Salford has struck.
Well, remember when they were in round 15, they went 16-0 down, they come back to get in front of him, and Lollahea, well, he was calling for the ball. It goes back to Jackson Hastings, and this is how good they are. The last 5 minutes have shown you how good this Salford side are. They do not neglect the skill, know the field position from where they're attacking. Quality try.
Well, we said, didn't we? They had to be ready. They had to be prepared and ready for when luck went their way. They got 6 tackles again, and that last set of 6, well, that's the real Salford Red Devils. Jackson Hastings, Tui Lollahea, 2 passes further outside the ruck, dropping big right rowers off. George Griffin, Josh Jones, making defenders miss tackles, and then the decision to show it open side, go back down the short side, and Jake Bibby summed it up perfectly.
Krishnan Inu, who has been pinpoint accurate with his goal kicking, he has kicked 15 from 15 so far in the playoffs for Salford. This is one of the trickier kicks he has faced in this playoff series. 8 from 8 last week against the Wigan Warriors. And this could be 2 more crucial points for the Salford Red Devils. It is 16 from 16 from Krishnan Inu. And Salford strike back to give themselves hope.
Well, Salford's spirit is supplemented by the skill to convert from the sideline, and the skill to find the right place to read and react to the situation that presented itself on the last tackle. They ran the power play, they didn't choose to kick the ball, kept the ball alive, found the man in space who slid over, and all of a sudden, this Salford side now, well, the belief has just gone up, immeasurably, really, from the start of the match. And I reckon some of their players didn't really think they had a chance. But now they go past the half-hour mark, just 6 behind.
And how big a contribution in galvanising Salford was that? I know he was penalised in the end, but Tui Lollahea taking things into his own hands.
It's probably, we've watched him play many games this year, it's the first time he's really taken teams on. And just look a dangerous player he is when he runs at defenders.
I think the Salford side back themselves in this game. They don't think they're going to come off second best.
Their supporters certainly don't. The Red Devils fans away to our right in the north stand, finding their voice. Jackson Hastings back into the middle of the field. Here is Niall Evalds. Yeah, Saints in that meeting in the middle of the season raced into a 16-0 lead, and then Salford struck back and led 30 points to 16. Saints still managed to nick it in the final minutes, so James Bentley's try, Coote's conversion, but they know, Saints do, and here's Lollahea again, and here is Bibby again, and that's the turnover.
Last tackle, they won't mind that, Salford. And this Salford side are energised over the last 2 or 3 minutes, but offloads energise them. They get on the front foot, they look to do something when that ball is made available. Everybody is aware of it, is expecting it, and then they are pressing goal.
Well, the quality of the tackles has well gone up. Matt Flanagan just pulled off a belter there to stop Ashworth.
Long pass finds Lomax, and here's Zebtea now, scorer in this first half for the Saints. Here is Mark Percival, and half-time approaching, and it has whistled past this first 40 minutes, as they tend to do at the grand final. You really don't have time to blink on this big occasion, on the big stage. And just as with Salford's presence here today, it's added that air of intrigue, a new name in the final. As the kick goes up, and Evalds is underneath it.
Oh, the players skidding and sliding all over the place as they're trying to put pressure on Evans. 4 weak Saints defenders. Evans, but he's been flawless. And he pouched it with ease. You can see there's a collision off the ball, in or around.
Ashworth was quite high with the tackle.
Could have been a penalty, and then some afters as well with the elbow.
Adam Walker, once St Helens player, made 9 appearances for the club in 2017. Oh, that was tricky, that was dangerous. That almost came up for Grace. But Salford keep it alive. And here is Josh Jones. Jones skips away from Nguama. There's no skipping away from Luke Thompson. You don't skip away from Luke Thompson.
Well, he gets his body tight, doesn't he? Clamps that ball. Then pressure on Jackson Hastings.
Puts a good kick in though, Hastings, under pressure.
The end of centre working well for Salford. If they finish in centre field, that allows Rockall, Coote, Makinson and Grace to drop back. There's 3 players you've got to contend with. If they kick from the sideline, there's just the fullback and the winger, because the wingers had to stay up in the line. So doing a decent job, running the plays, but definitely for Salford, the unstructured offloading game is working.
Am I right in thinking that's the first kick that's gone over the sideline?
I think you are.
I think so. Salford's approach isn't to slow the game down, it's to live with the pace of St Helens. It cost them a couple of tries, but they've edged the way back into this game, and they're trying to make St Helens work what?
We haven't had a goal line dropout.
What a catch. They're having to go wide because they can't go forward. They can't make the meters as easily in the centre as they did at the start of the game. Salford's defence getting stronger.
Yeah, Lomax felt that from Weller.
Wait here. Wait. Go free.
And both sides will be glad to hear the half-time hooter after a really rattling first 40 minutes, which the first half hour of which St Helens ran the show, but Salford have come back as the kick comes in from Fage, and Evans traps it calmly. Good chase from the Saints.
Well, a massive pat on the back and a lot of respect shown to how Salford have been defending, where Saints are looking to shift the ball and play early to get outside of Salford. They've certainly got into the speed of this game now, the opening 20 minutes. Well, to see that Saints were so dominant with everything that they were doing.
There's Jake Bibby, just gets over the 40-metre line. Walker now.
Nobody with Walker then, he was quite easy to pick off. Fights and struggles to find a quick play of the ball.
Mark Flanagan, Jackson Hastings, Lollahay now. Lollahay to Ken Seale. And he bumps off the first challenge.
Was that a bit too early from Lollahay then? Sure, it was a 3-on-2. If he goes on his own, there's some space.
It's Lollahay who puts a high kick in. That's into a bit of space, and Fage has to retreat to get that. Hastings with the tackle, and Salford end in this first half strongly.
I agree, Bill. It looks like it's St Helens who are waiting for the half-time hooter. Salford comfortable, knocking out the sets, putting pressure, 3-man tackles, and it's took them a good while in this game to control St Helens.
Fage just sensing there was an opportunity there, but it's shut in his face, and here's Nguama now. The Salford fans making all the noise here down the road at Old Trafford as Fage puts the kick away, but it's straight into the arms of Niall Evalds. He's had a fantastic season as Evalds, ever present. 22 tries, so just one short of Makinson's tally. Rarely puts a foot wrong at the back.
We've got a massive second half coming up. This Salford Red Devils side are not just happy to be here, they want the big trophy.
Hastings just outside his 40, but puts another good kick in. And Makinson retreats. And then it's Hastings who makes the tackle, the final of the first 40 minutes. Justin Holbrook heads down to pitch side to join his players in the dressing room. Paul Rowley, Ian Watson, just exchanging notes before they go to meet their team. And Salford will head for the dressing room in good heart, having withstood that St Helens barrage in the first half hour of the game. Okay, they conceded 2 tries, but they kept their nerve, and then they turned the tables. In Super League's 22nd grand final, St Helens, league leaders, 16 points clear at the top of the table at the end of the regular season, ahead by 12 points to 6 against third place finishers, the Salford Red Devils, a Salford side who were 11th last season, who have had an absolutely amazing turnaround in fortunes this campaign, as evidenced by their presence here in the Theatre of Dreams. And the dream of lifting this trophy is very much alive. Salford aiming for their first major trophy since winning the First Division Championship under Les Bettingson in the 75-76 season. They are by no means out of the hunt here after that rally at the end of the first half. But only 4 teams have come back to win, having been behind at half-time. Wigan twice, St Helens twice. Can Salford add their name to that list? That is in the history of the Super League Grand Final. It takes some doing, because it is energy sapping, it is emotionally sapping as well. Such a big occasion, and tonight it's hot. It's hard work out there.
Well, they need a massive 40 minutes. Like the way they finished that first half, the final 10 minutes, they were really good. And the big plus for Salford is they're playing towards their faithful. That will surely just cheer them on.
Saints completing the first set of this second half with a kick that's deep, and Kensio looks up and sees a wall of red V.
We talked about the improvements that Salford made from last season, finishing 11th, pushing up to making the grand final this year. The biggest improvement in their play has been their ability to score points. More than any other summer season, Salford have scored the highest number, and they need that attacking brilliance in the second half here to give themselves a chance.
Jake Bibby playing the ball has got the try that has given them that hope. Here is Mark Flanagan in his second grand final, having won with Saints on this ground in 2014 in that final against Wigan. Dad Terry won on this ground as well. Jackson Hastings. It's a big kick, making some eyes on the ball.
Well, that is one way to negate his involvement early on in the set. Tommy Makinson, while the ball is up and that black and red wall from Salford is in front of him, he can't get up the momentum that he usually has, and springs him forward 10, 15, 20 metres.
Coote plays the ball. Here is Makinson. Makinson tackled by Wellham. Early days, second half. Let's go down to the sideline. Jenna Brooks, half-time news.
Thanks, Bill. Justin Holbrook came out pretty early. He looked content. He said that he was really happy, really impressed with his plays in that first half. He said that the game is being played at exceptionally high standards, and the players are just working together. When it comes to Ian Watson, he came out. He also looked fairly happy. He just says that they need to stick to the game plan, continue to believe, which is the one word we keep hearing from this Salford team. Believe, believe, believe. Stick to the game plan, and they are confident that they can upset the favourites.
Well, he's in trouble there, Tommy Makinson. You always see him. If he catches the ball on tackle 1 and he's under pressure, he'll go searching on tackle 3 or 4. He stretched his arm out, he landed awkwardly. And it'd be interesting to see if he can finish the game here.
Well, he's shaking it off. He's trotting back. There he goes. That's...
Oh, that looks nasty, that. Yeah. Nasty.
He's back on his wing. And the kick comes in, and Evalds.
He was called offside all the way through from the referee. Young Jack Ashworth, a former Mayfield amateur rugby league player, is in the biggest game of his life. He has to keep his composure, has to keep his discipline.
I tell you what, you've hardly noticed Chris Kendall, the referee.
Yeah, it's been good, hasn't he? He's another one in the biggest game of his life, isn't he? And that's always the sign of a good influence from a referee. If you don't talk about him, you're not mentioning the things that don't go so well.
He's had a big week, £1 million game in Toronto. And now, the Super League Grand Final on the biggest stage. A big stage that is just buzzing now with anticipation for this second half. What does it hold? Can Salford still further get their way back into this game? Inu's got a bang in the face there.
Jack Ashworth again being aggressive.
Well, his teammate stood behind him, just assisting in Logan Tompkins as the hooker. Was head-on-head, maybe contact. Logan Tompkins, the starting hooker for Salford. He started the last 10. And usually Joey Lussick comes on as a sub here now. Is the referee going to look at this?
Well, it's the tackle, the upright tackle. He just goes straight into his face with his shoulder, doesn't he? That'll be
the first contact you're talking about, aren't you, Stuart?
Yeah, the first contact. Not necessarily that on the ground.
It's definitely aggressive.
This will only be referred by the video referee if the video referee thinks that is either a sin bin or a send-off. Otherwise, we'll just continue with the play of the ball. It's this one here where he comes in.
Let's have a see where the contact is. It looks shoulder to me. This bit is the aggressive bit for me. The first bit I'm not too bothered about. Is the fourth man in, which draws your attention to him. The head of Christian Inu is fairly low.
Would you penalise that, Barry, at the end?
Well, the referee has just said to Mark Flanagan that he was just getting tight into the tackle. So I'm okay with it, I'll let it go.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. But I think if I'm a forward in the sage shirt like Dominic Peru is, I'd say, listen, come on, mate, just settle down. Get on with your job.
Never had a sin binning in the grand final. We've had a sending off, of course. Right, guys, 2014.
The Ben Flower grand final.
Well, Inu is back on his feet, and there's no further action taken by the match official. And here is Hastings. Adam Walker now, Scottish international. Early minutes of the second half here at Old Trafford then, and Salford in possession. Quick hands, very quick hands, and Bibby does well, cannoning off the first St Helens defender, Josh Jones, and Jackson Hastings, and Maguama with an important tackle. That'll be the turnover.
They love a drop-off play, don't they, Salford? They pass the ball away from the ruck, drop a player off, and they're hoping to try and catch a fatigued player, somebody like Louis McCarthy-Scarsburg, who's just switched off, clocked off, but they're up to the task, St Helens, so far.
Making some bravely back in the fray after that knock just a few moments ago. I swear I saw a grimace from him there.
He's not fit, is he? You'd play at him now, wouldn't you, if Salford in attack?
Here is Lomax, Roby now, Luke Thompson.
Good work from Mark, from Greg, but then just chopping Jack Ashworth down then.
Louis McCarthy-Scarsburg, Lewisham's very own. And Coots with the kick. Into the middle of the field, and Inu rumbles across to pick it up and then brings it back, and Theophage makes the tackle.
Well, he'd be a target, wouldn't he, Theophage? Again, Bibby picks out the Frenchman.
I've been watching Tommy Makinson. He's holding that arm down by his side. You can just see him at the top of your screen. Right arm holding it tight. If it's not an AC joint injury, it's possibly sublux. It's very uncomfortable, whatever happens.
Interesting. Joey Lussick is on for the Salford Red Devils, replacing Logan Tompkins. Normally has an impact. Joey Lussick has had a fine season. Oh, that's Eccles at pace, and it needed to be a good tackle to stop his progress, because he came steaming onto that ball. Theophage it was. Jackson Hastings, that's a good kick, a tempting kick. Great catch from Coote, and Coote makes ground as well. Oh, tries to find Regan Grace. If he'd got that pass to connect, then the Welsh flyer could have been away.
You've got to be brave at the back, haven't you? Lachlan Coote under enormous pressure. Salford now, just look at him. They're ripping into centres, an offload. Again, now they've got a penalty. saying the ball's been stripped, Chris Kendall.
It was a sensational take, wasn't it, from Lachlan Coote? He took the gamble, thought he spotted Regan Grace in a good position to get the offload away, and Salford involved, hands in or around, and the referee judges that, is it Greg Burke? He's definitely one of the players, Greg Burke, or potentially George Griffin.
Come on, 10.
Septaya now.
One. Move back. Wait.
Just inside Salford territory. Here is Kyle Amor making his 300th career appearance.
Wait. Go to.
Like Roby, what a great place to reach that landmark.
Third. Move, Joey, square. Hold. Go.
Luke Thompson now. Theo Farge. Farge, ball back on the inside to McCarthy Scarsbrook. It was forward.
He just didn't quite time that correctly, did it? Theo Farge, he shows it to the player on his right side. He's aware and probably knows, because he set up the play. LMS is coming in. Ooh, it's only just, isn't it? But Mark Flanagan, the ever-reliable defender that does all that dirty work, mops up all the untidy stuff. He's around the ankle laces. Anyway,
Theo Farge has a big debt to the Salford club. He's in St Helens colours, but it was Salford who gave him his chance over here, the Catalan youngster. And I remember him moving into a home in Salford. He was with a local family, and he just went straight in the deep end, and fair play to him. Well, he's progressed his career.
The Salford season ticket holders, aren't they? The family that he moved in with will be here tonight cheering for the Reds as Lussick now makes some ground upfield.
Joey Lussick, his brother Darcy, of course, probably still celebrating Toronto's triumph in the £1 million game and their elevation to Super League. Here is Jackson Hastings, a Wigan player next season, the Steve Prescott Man of Steel, newly crowned. Walker. That ball's come free, and it's a knock-on, says referee Chris Kendall. Walker appealing.
Well, he's got an offload in his game, hasn't he? Walker. Another hands in here from Saints.
Yeah, there he has an all. It's Luke Thompson's had a go at it.
He's been really good as well. He's not been off the field, Luke Thompson.
He has been good, but he snatched at that ball, and it's no good whinging and complaining. I don't suspect he will, Adam Walker, for much longer. We've got to get on with the defence in front of them.
Instead, if I was a Salford player, Bill, I'd still be looking at Tommy Mason. I'd be testing him out. Like Chris Ninu is one of the biggest wingers in Super League. Give him early ball and let him pick his target out.
Well, they haven't got the ball at the moment. It's St Helens who are in possession with Kyle Amor. Another one who's experienced success on this pitch, Amor. It's been a wait, though, for St Helens to repeat that glory. And they are coming forward now with Farge. Percival weaving his way towards the try line. Here is Akumatai hitting that Septaya hitting that ball at pace, 10 metres out, but good defence from George Griffin. Here's Coote now. Coote, Percival back across the field. Little kick from Percival. Amor is chasing, and he might have got there. One of them might have got there. Referee Chris Kendall has called time off. McCarthy Scarsbrook celebrates.
Just check the grounding, please.
And Chris Kendall wants Ben Thaler to check onside, offside, and the grounding.
He is an absolute class act, Mark Percival. I said in the first half, he carries the ball as hard, as straight as any front rower, but he's also got this in his game. Look at that, good skill, gets the correct weight on it. They're not big in goals here at Old Trafford, and he has the evasion, still got the balance to get around those Salford players, beats Jackson Hastings and grounds the ball.
It's Mark Percival who gets that try. Surely Kyle Amor was keen. Almost. Amor almost got there. And Mark Percival, out of nothing really, has conjured up a try to extend St Helens' lead.
He took the gamble, didn't he? Thought he could deliver the skill. He just dabbed the ball behind the line. Matty Lee's the young player of the year with a lot of the St Helens injured players. It's a beautifully weighted kick. And Kyle Amor, when we watch the replay again, he's just at the top of the screen. He almost gets to that ball whether he would have beat Jackson Hastings or not. Who's there on the spot? Who gets the vital, crucial touch? Mark Percival.
And Coote with a conversion attempt bang in front of the posts. And after a bit of sparring at the start of this second half, Saints extend their lead. And Coote kicking towards those Saints supporters, sensing that could be a massive blow their side have struck in this grand final.
Well, rugby's at its best when it's played instinctively, and that's what Mark Percival does so well here. It's the last tackle. You see the referee's got his hand in the air, and he gets the ball here close to the sideline, arcs across the field, sees the chance, kicks it through almost like he's back at primary school, gets there to the first of the ball. It's a significant lead now, 12 points, but Salford clearly not out to it with the way they've fought back so many times this season.
They're going to have to dig deep again, though, now, as Salford. Justin Holbrook jubilant as his side strikes a crucial blow.
And you're looking for weaknesses in this Saints side, and again, I'm looking at Tommy Mason. Every one of the Saints players have been up to him saying, look, come on, mate, you're going to have to tough this out. He is really struggling over on the right-hand side. You look at the bench, they'd have to do some major reshuffling on how they're going to play. So they're keeping him out there. He's been really tough, and I'm sure at the end of this game, we'll hear a lot about what players have gone through to play the full 80 minutes on the big stage.
Lee McCarthy-Scarsbrook plays that ball just inside Salford territory. The ball goes high, and Ken Seo comes and gets it for the Salford Red Devils.
Well, it's going to be end-to-end this game. Good line speed here from Kyle Amor. He just takes the game and the momentum away from Chris Wellham. Really difficult carries here. Ken Seo again putting his hands up. They get the penalty though. In Jackson Hastings wants to get on with it quickly. And the referee just taking control. He wants a controlled start. Long kick. Look at that. Good line speed from Kyle Amor.
Can Salford benefit then from that penalty? The kick puts St Helens back on their own 30-metre line, 20-metre line in fact, and the ball with Lee Mossop, who is back out there, the Salford captain.
That's a good substitution, that third grand final for Mossop. He's experienced the highs of this stage in his Wigan days.
Jones escaping the clutches of a couple of St Helens defenders. Here is Hastings now. Hastings trying to wrong foot the Saints defence. Luke Thompson having none of that. Amor there as well to make the tackle. And it's Lussick, and Lussick doing what he does, trying to catch the defenders off guard, but Saints were aware of what was coming. Here is Hastings now. Little kick from Hastings. It's sitting up nicely for Coote.
Good positioning from the fullback then. You're right, St Helens on goal line defence, they were ready for Lussick. We've seen so many times Joey Lussick, Ian Watson's trump card on the bench this evening, as he has been for most of the season. And Saints were up to the task. He'll have another couple of goals though, there's nothing sure about that.
Here is Johnny Lomax, looking for a first grand final win. He's in his third. Now Regan Grace. Had that one run so far from Grace when he tried to hurdle Niall Evalds, and Fage with the kick down the middle of the field, and it is Niall Evalds.
Well, they needed some pressure on Luke Thompson then, who had his hands on the ball as the referee was shouting it's the last tackle. He managed to get it away to Theo Fage. Saints again just looking to slow this play down as Joey Lussick's just urging the referee for a penalty. Oh, Chris
Inu met his match there.
Yeah, well,
It looked like a shoulder charge, didn't it?
Well, Chris Inu, he runs hard, like I said before. He's really big, he's powerful, runs into the Guama,
Well, there's no attempt to wrap the arm around there, is it?
He's going for the opposite shoulder tackle. You can see what he's trying to do. He's looking at the right shoulder tackle. He steps into him. You're right, he doesn't lift his arm. He doesn't make an attempt to tackle. The body's meet and the ball is dislodged.
The rule said that should be a penalty, doesn't it, to Salford?
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing coming their way in that respect. In fact, it's head and feed to St Helens, so that's just adds insult to injury as far as Chris Naninu and the Salford Red Devils go. And here is the man who delivered that tackle, Kevin Nagama. Griffin wrapping him up. Zeb Taya now. 30 metres out. Here is Fage. Kyle Amor gets away from Burke's tackle. And St Helens with the upper hand in this second half, courtesy of Mark Percival's try. His 11th of the season. Thea Fage now. Fage, McCarthy, Scarsbrook powering onto the ball, but the tackle low down was good. On the last now, and Thompson with the charge, and again, good work defensively from Greg Burke.
Well, they had to be strong. Theo Fage was out the back, but the power that we've seen over the last couple of years from that man, he wanted a try underneath the sticks, didn't he? And Chris Ninu, well, nice and a nice grip on the ball here, but been dominated, been pushed back from Morgan Knowles, Smith and Thompson.
And the level's just rising now. St Helens fans to our left behind the sticks. They're urging their side to take metres off Salford when they're carrying the ball forward.
Just to put a stranglehold on this game, Saints. That's the intention. Do not allow Salford a way back into this grand final.
That's a big set of 6 for Saints defensively. That's quality.
Mossop appealing to the referee for something, anything that will get him out of this predicament. But it's the kick downfield and into the arms of Coote. And here is Makinson. The shoulder injury doesn't appear to be causing him too much inconvenience.
He'll be feeling that. This is a brave showing, courage being shown by the winger, and it partly will be in, as Terry said, to change and rotate when you've got an injury to a winger. The damage it might do to the rhythm of the side has been assessed by the coach, the medical staff, and they're leaving him on as long as they can.
Oh, good defence.
Bell ringer. It's an absolute bell ringer from Mossop.
Zebtair gets up very, very slowly.
He's rocked him and Mark Flanagan. He just rocked McCarthy Scarsbrook as well.
And Lussick with the tackle on Fage as he got the kick away. Oh, Evans!
Oh, and another one. Niguama on the fullback, Evans. Holy moly. He thinks, I've got the ball, I'll look at who I'm going to run at. He gets whacked.
Well, the Saints decided to turn it up, didn't it? It got too hot for Salford. Mistake. The players are pleading with the referee. But the defensive effort's been rewarded here with possession close to opponent's try line. With a 12-point lead, they want to make this significant. They want this to make this a fatal error that Salford have committed inside their own half. Jake Bibby unable to get up and play the ball correctly.
Yeah, his responsibility to place the ball on the ground. He placed it on the opposition player's foot.
Territory is important, but I tell you what else is important: playing near your fans, because that really energises you, lifts you. And Saints, with the ball in hand, are playing towards their own fans.
Yeah, they're near their fans at the moment. Zebtair, first half try scorer for the Saints, who are looking to put more distance between themselves and the rookies, the newbies in grand final history, the Salford Red Devils. Here is Fage, here is Lomax. Lomax into the middle of the field to Coote, and Coote out wide. Makinson. Fage and Thompson winding up, but that was high from Dodson. That's going to be possibly 2 points.
Yeah, that's an easy two. Well, 2 on offer anyway.
Do you know, he's big, he's powerful, Luke Thompson. He's also got good footwork as well. And he beats Gil Dodson, goes on the inside, he picks out Lussick, gets the penalty. Look, He just braces himself, knows what's coming from the referee.
It's good footwork because he moves from the outside shoulder of his opposite number, Gil Dudson, to the inside shoulder, the left shoulder. It's a left shoulder, almost a flailing arm from the front row. He's had a really big end to the season, as have everybody in the front row for Salford Red Devils. Mossop, Tompkins, Dudson, Lussick when he gets onto the field.
Abergavenny's very own Gil Dudson with the high tackle. And it's going to cost, surely, Salford another 2 points, because Coote hasn't been in the mood to miss many this season. Over 100 successful goal kicks.
Well, he only took over the goal kicking in round 4 when Mark Percival at Salford decided he didn't fancy it any longer. And from that point on, the Saints kicker has been Lachlan Coote.
Dream team pick. One of several from this Saints side. And the Saints fans in celebratory mood as that finds the target. 20 points to 6. St Helens lead.
Well, you'd imagine now that Salford need to go short here. They need the ball back. Justin Holbrook knows that his side have been tested, and Ian Watson, well, he knows that 19 minutes to go in this game. Have they got 14 points in them? I'm sure they have, but they're going to have to do a bit tough. They're up against a really, really determined Saints side.
Great touch from Chris Naninu, because he was waiting for the ball to appear there to restart. A little ball boy came charging onto the field, and Inu just gave him a tap on the head and looked to say thank you.
Gentlemen. They're all gentlemen, these rugby league players, and they're all going to do their best for their side, but they'll never forget the integrity, the morals and the principle of this great sport.
St Helens, league leaders this season, 16 points clear. They finished at the top of the table, but that's not necessarily going to give them success in the grand final, as they know from previous experience. So tonight they're looking to send Justin Holbrook back home to Australia with that grand final trophy, a grand final ring, and they are well on the way now into the final quarter of the game. They lead by 20 points to 6, and they are dominating things here at the moment. Coote's kick, Evels underneath it, Lomax follows up.
High kick from the fullback Lachlan Coote, and the man that wears number 1 chases the kick, Johnny Lomax. We haven't mentioned him too many times in this game, but Lachlan Coote, I think it's fair to say, wasn't at his best at Wembley. Well, he's been nigh on perfect this evening.
Nguama again flying out the line, and didn't look like he was going to wrap his arm around Chris Ninu.
40-20 attempt here by Lussick. They need possession back. Has it from the sideline? It has. Here's a chance. A 40-20 got Salford back into the game when they almost beat Saints back in May. It's a 40-20 kick here. Good kickstart the revival.
If that doesn't lift it in front of your own fans, nothing will.
So Lussick will tap the ball 10 metres from that St Helens try line.
It's a familiar pattern, in it. Pass it away from the ruck and drop it forward back on the inside.
And they get the penalty.
You've worked all the way.
Alex Walmsley and Kyle Amor just trying to slow Josh Jones down in front of their own posts. So a 40-20, then a penalty. The Salford fans looking on, hoping that their side can once again hit back in this game. They did so in the first half. They've got to really turn things around here now. Dudson, and that's a knock-on. Oh, Dudson is incredulous at that decision.
Well, there's bodies in. He picks out young Aaron Smith, and Morgan Knowles gets involved with him as well. And he thought that he should have had a penalty, Gil Dudson. It was a one-up play. It was a set-up. And you can see he puts the ball down.
Aaron Smith
is still involved. He's still got hold of him.
Well, Smith has to get away from him, and he's clearly all over.
That should have been a penalty, and that's what Gil Dudson was asking for off the referee.
Wow, that's a big call, because Lussick had kicked the 40-20, they got the penalty, and they got Saints on the back foot, and then the pressure is lifted by a cruel decision, you've got to say. There's Aaron Smith, the culprit in Salford's eyes. Ian Watson, stern-faced Salford coach. And harsh words as well by the look of things.
Well, he thinks that Saints maybe play acting there, and Alex Walmsley's not one of those players that stays down on the ground.
Had some neck issues, of course. You forgive him if you're a little bit pensive. He ends up on the wrong side.
I think he cops the knee of Lee Mossop as he's going down.
And no foul play involved, just caught it on the way down, didn't he?
So, St Helens back in possession. Lomax, Zebtea, Aaron Smith there. Roby obviously taking a rest. Aaron Smith celebrating his 23rd birthday today. What a way to celebrate it. What a place to celebrate it.
Birthdays, we've got weddings all over the place.
Josh Jones, of course. His wedding to Olivia tomorrow. The kick up high, and again Eccles is there. Kept his eye on the ball.
He's been absolutely brilliant. It is a lonely place at the back. He's dealt with everything. Offered himself in attack as well.
I think it's Kevin Nagama's wedding anniversary today.
We've even got a birthday on the gantry. Somebody on the gantry is 50. I'm not giving it away. 2 days to wait before he's 50.
Oh, that's tempting, that is.
Clarkey.
Here is Josh Jones, who is due to get married tomorrow. Will be getting married tomorrow. And then hoping for a honeymoon, but he might have other plans with Great Britain.
You never know.
He might be in the Great Britain squad. Hastings with the kick. St Helens in control and heading, it seems, for their 6th win at Old Trafford. Makinson now.
Well, Saints don't play the game conservatively, and they never have done. But you'd imagine there, with Folk leading by 14 points, they don't have to get in front again. They've done all the hard work. They have been challenged just in all, but what an amazing job he's done since he's been involved here at Saints.
Well, something upset him there. He was on the walkie-talkie and barking down instructions. Here is Theo Fage.
He's a perfectionist, isn't he, Justin Holbrook? He knows that on their best day, St Helens are a well-oiled machine.
It's with Lomax now and Coote. Coote gets away from Hastings, but eventually brought down. Here is Lomax now. Lomax, Walmsley past the first challenge. Flanagan gets a hold of him. They really are like wasps buzzing around Walmsley. And that'll be the turnover.
Well, Alex Walmsley getting involved on a shift play out of the back when normally you see a fullback or someone doing it. But he offered himself the big man.
It was Percival, wasn't it? He was pointing to behind the sticks. He wanted a kick. And St Helens are happy to hand the ball over. They'll back the defence, and this is where Salford are dangerous. They have to try something, don't they? Luke Thompson hasn't been off, has he? He's put in a massive shift in the middle.
He's in there with that tackle is Thompson, and it's got to be wearying now for the Salford Red Devils, because when you think back to the first half hour of the game when they were really taking some punishment, that will have soaked up a lot of energy. Have they got anything left in the tank for the closing stages of this game? Here is Eccles.
Well,
that's the 5th tackle.
Kept it alive, but there were 5 St Helens shirts around Eccles when he got possession. High kick to the corner.
Hastings hoists that one. Chris Wellham will challenge, does bat it back, but it's Saints who come up with it with Zebtea.
Yeah, good positioning from Zebtea. Chris Wellham is one of the best in Salford's colours up in the earth. You've got him on the right-hand side, Chris Ninu over on the left-hand side. Big challenge coming out of the line from Lussick then. They know that they need the ball in this area of the field. They're hoping for a mistake from Saints.
Here is Percival. Second half try scorer, virtuoso effort. And Lomax now. Lollahea makes the first attempt at the tackle. Dudson finishes off, and Walmsley just trying to run through the Salford defenders. That's the last. Saints appealing for 6 to go, but not so, says the referee. So Fage, another high one. This time the ball comes down. Is there a Salford player offside? There was.
Tommy Makinson is chasing that kick. He has his hands up. Look at him here. When he gets away, that right hand, that shoulder issue down by his side. Let me tell you, he's in some pain there.
They're going to kick a goal here to take 2 more points. But their ability to make the meters is the reason why they're able to put those high kicks in. And Helens and Co have been under so much pressure throughout this game. They've handled them well on most occasions, but 70 minutes on the clock.
Wormsley needing some running repairs, and Coote just preparing to kick the goal in front of it's a good turnout at Old Trafford. On occasion, when people saying when Salford got to this that oh, it might not be good for attendance figures, but again they've come, and it's not just Salford and St Helens fans. They've come from all over the world, including a contingent from the Ukraine, where rugby league is just kicking off, and representatives of clubs like the Lviv Tigers, and you'll like this one, Phil, the Transcarpathia Trinity.
They're my team for next year.
Get that on the back of a shirt.
Rugby league's in the business of selling good times, and anybody who comes to the Betfred Super League Grand Final has a great time. Obviously, the Salford fans won't be enjoying it that much now, but up until this point, it's been a wonderful evening and a pretty strong performance. The side have done well, and the best team in Super League history, in my opinion, here just confirmed the dominance here with another kick. Another 2 points on the scoreboard from Lachlan Coote.
Coote is the cry from the Saints fans. And Coote on target again. 5 from 5.
They've played it smart, haven't they, St Helens? We talked in the first 5 minutes as they go short here, Salford, to try and get the ball. It's taken by the courageous Tommy Makinson. All the talk, quite rightly, has been about the story of Salford and how they've risen. I was one of the people that thought they'd finish in 11th spot, I'd be honest. But it's been outstanding the way that they kept the main players fit and playing to a high level, performing each and every week. Ian Watson deserves and has got a lot of credit.
But probably for Luke Thompson, and that's 70 minutes catching up with him.
Yeah, he just pulled up then, didn't he?
Oh, let's hope
cramp, just cramp. Fingers crossed it's cramp for Luke Thompson. He looked in pain straight away, didn't he? Gil Dudson didn't go in and let it hit him. Yeah, there you go, the referee. Heard him then to Chris Kendall. Is it just cramp? Yeah, it is. Right, well, come on, let's go. Let's get on with it.
Well, they're all heart, these match officials, aren't they?
I know. Yeah. Come on, lads. It's only cramp. Let him play the ball. That's what he's shouting.
Well, listen, that's what happens when you try and play 80 minutes. That's why I never bothered.
Well, he might just get a break now. Probably reluctantly. Luke Thompson.
He has to be up there for the Harry Sunderland.
Coote, who probably will be a contender as well with the kick, has not put a foot wrong, Coote.
No, I've been really good. Both full-backs have been really strong in this game, but obviously the one that gets noticed is the one that will end up on the winning team. And Lachlan Coote, just look at him, his work off the ball, directing the forwards around, and then when Griffin's carrying the ball, he's running into a St Helens wall because all the plays have been orchestrated by the full-back, the man at the back.
Saints within 8 minutes of atoning for that Wembley disappointment when they really didn't do themselves justice, and Warrington lifted the trophy. Inu, massive kick from him, but too strong, and claimed by the Saints fullback Coote.
I can't remember him making a mistake.
No,
it was Luke Thompson, a well-earned rest.
That's why I think Coote's a contender.
Yeah. Off the boot. His communication while his team's been attacking and defending. And his performance and all, Tommy Makinson playing with that shoulder injury. I can recommend a good shoulder, Doctor or Professor Leonard Funk.
Meanwhile, Luke Thompson is actually just walking down the sideline, and he's approached the end of the field where the Stretford ends, and the Saints fans have given him a massive welcome. There he is, obviously just walking off that touch of cramp, probably hoping to get back on.
I think he knows that his job's done for the night.
Here is Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. That's good work from him. Looking for another grand final success, Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook.
Good work from Mossop from the inside there. Inside ball to Zeb Taylor. Set up, executed, and then the tackle from Lee Mossop. He hurt Zeb Taylor and all, didn't he?
What will probably sadden Salford fans is that several of these players that have helped Salford get to this stage are, of course, on the way. They're leaving the club. Jake Bibby going to Wigan, Jackson Hastings going to Wigan, Josh Jones going to Hull FC.
But you'd rather clubs want your players. That shows that you're doing something right rather than nobody wanting your players. So Salford players have been handpicked by other clubs in Super League because they have performed. They have performed heroically this year. It's been a great story, Salford. I can't wait to go to the AJ Bell for their first game on Sky, first home game.
It would be great if just a fraction of these fans who've turned out today are there. Here is Evels. Across comes Coote, makes the tackle. Wellham now. Salford, have they got some defiance in them in the last 5 minutes here? That's the fifth tackle.
Wait! Go, lads.
Saints have done a good job on this dangerous Salford side. A Salford side that eliminated Wigan, eliminated the Castleford Tigers en route to this grand final. Coote's got a bang now.
What's that? Fingers crossed it's just cramp for Lachlan Coote as well. He's covered some ground, hasn't he, tonight in this field?
Well, several of these Saints players due to be in the Great Britain squad for this autumn's tests in the Southern Hemisphere. 8, in fact. Makinson is one of them. Championes is the cry from the St Helens supporters at the Stretford end. It's a double then for their club. And Lomax puts the kick in, a weary kick from Johnny Lomax.
Well, Chris Ninu now just looks to accelerate, tries to get rid of Nguama and Morgan Knowles. He can't do that, and Ian Watson knows that for 20 minutes his side in the back end of the first half give it a real go, got back in the contest, but Saints just so dominant in this second half.
They strangled it in the second half, haven't they? Absolutely suffocated it.
But they have been the most consistent side over the last 2 years in Super League, haven't they?
Certainly this season. 16 points clear at the top of the table. And Salford have shown great defiance here, but they haven't been able to match the Saints' firepower. Here is Hastings. Hastings, little weaving run from him. Bibby kick ahead, too strong. In goal areas, very narrow here.
It is a harsh school on stages like this. If you don't take your chances, if you make mistakes, you get punished. And in big games, sometimes you lose, sometimes you learn, and Saints have definitely profited from that situation. Being in big games, not performing, we can't accuse them of that this evening.
Here is Grace. Akumatai now. Crikey, Michael. Zeb Taylor got Huddersfield in the grand final. Here is Alex Walmsley. Walmsley! Wow. Just in the final minutes of this game, he's left 2 Salford players on the deck.
He is ridiculous when he carries that ball, Alex Walmsley.
And it's back with Makinson, who's gone for 1 point, and he might have got it. He has. And Tommy Makinson, don't jump on his back, Louis.
I think that's why he was sprinting away from LMS. Saying, don't touch me, don't touch me.
From range, Makinson has landed at one pointer. It's certainly his first of the season.
Haven't they got so many key players, whether it be Coop, Lomax, Page? No one expected that from Makinson.
It takes a deflection as well, the drop goal. Tommy Makinson, it was sweetly struck.
Well, is a marvellous end to the game for Tommy Makinson. James Roby getting the plaudits of his coach Justin Holbrook, the Super League Coach of the Year, of course, crowned Coach of the Year earlier this season, and bowing out with the win he dreamed of. And Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, Eccles ahead of him. Louis takes the tackle, Eccles committed to the end.
Big break there from Aaron Smith.
Oh, that was a knock on, says the referee.
Well, he goes over the line anyway, doesn't he? He thinks, I'm going to dab it down, I'm going to score me try. I don't care whether it gets awarded, but here's LMS. Some fatigue in the Salford ranks now. And Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, well, he tries to round the fullback. And there's a knock-on somewhere.
Yeah, it's just incorrect play, the ball. So given the scrum for.
Anyway. And a nice moment, I think, with Justin Holbrook and James Roby. I reckon he's whispered in his ear, you're going to have to lift this one. At last, you're going to have to lift one.
Ian Proctor, who has been alongside us all season throughout this Super League campaign, providing all the information you hear and see on the screen, has ever come up with a gem tonight. That was Tommy Makinson's first ever drop goal for the club.
Bill, I actually just whispered that into Ian Proctor's ear then.
No.
And he only whispered it because I wrote it down.
Nothing gets past Ian. Tommy Makinson then putting the icing on the cake for the Saints. Tui Lolohea, who had his moments in the game, the clock counting down. Referee Chris Kendall has actually awarded a penalty to Salford for the final kick of the game, and Hastings across the field to Inu infield to Bibby can't make any progress. Theophage, the scrum cap comes off for the young Frenchman. That's what he looks like. And Fage jubilant. Saints